chorus reed here, which is actually on it's a floating reed, and that was originally supposed to be, it was actually built for the St. Thomas organ in the 50s, and then they thought it was too quiet because that building just eats up sound, so they brought it down here.
Wasn't there a not a 32 foot, but there was something that was, like you said, that was in St. Thomas that was removed, and it was just no one knew where it was, and it ended up here somehow. Was that what you're talking about?
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, this is a really big.
And these acoustics are great.
Yeah, which in St. Thomas would sound like nothing, but here we actually have a 4 foot set of pipes, but this is at the moment extended. But it's amazing that will link in with the grate and stuff. So if you're building your chorus up with these incredible quints, and then you add the reeds, it's almost imperceptible. So it's amazing how smooth the chorus is. The swell is huge, and it was meant to be an equal to the grate rather than a lesser. So even just using the swell flues, to mix it. And then to that he added the reeds, which are enormous. But you can still get a little bit of subtlety.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's really wonderful. And the building just carries.
Oh, I know.
It's absolutely amazing. And some of the pedal stops.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't do your cadence at the end of the gigoo. A lot of people do that.
It's just extraordinary how even the board on it, which doesn't sound too big, is absolutely huge downstairs. We tend to use this swell as the sort of the pianissimo, and even that is big downstairs. The contrabass has a 16/8/4 family of that, which is again big, and the flute du val, which is just colossal, which is extended to 32. So it's got an incredible amount of power, and the foundation stops are really the absolute killers. There's the 32 foot traditional, which is just sort of grounds everything. This is really what the organ does so well. But still, it has a lot of the neoclassical elements on the positive here.
Now, what?
So it's got plenty of bright, and again, you can get a really good organo plano sound just from using the Skinner stops here. Amazing, certainly for the 1930s.
I'm surprised there's no solo division. Usually,
that was what he actually had planned for, was to separate the positive, which now acts really as a solo and quiet organ together. So you have the solo strings, and you have the reeds. There are some beautiful reeds here. This is a bassoon. Lovely characteristic, and there's a beautiful clarinet as well. So he basically combined the two. There are also some fun reeds here, which were taken from a studio organ next door. One of the music directors, Ernest White, during the 50s had a very big organ sort of conservatoire set up here, and so these are sort of these funny little reeds that he had.
French reeds, right?
And so yeah, it's great if you want to do some messiaen or something, and you add the two together, and you can really get your common sound. So it's a really well thought out organ, and there's this 16 foot as well, which is useful for accompanying choirs and things. If you want to have that sort of booming choir accompaniment, I guess. Amazing, the versatility, and it would be great if we could split these two, because the bombard at the moment has the bombard reeds, which are obviously huge.
Are there any chamades up there?
They're not chamades. They're just regular, but they're sort of low pressure, but very
very
bright.
Voicing, yeah. Very bright.
And downstairs, they're definitely bombard solo reeds rather than
you would
chorus
never
reeds.
You would never know that they weren't chamades.
Yeah, I know, it's incredible. And the same with the 16 and 8, and they're really, really, really wonderful. The only other rank that's unique to the bombard is the cornet, which is.
Do you have an 8-foot tuba? Is there a tuba mirabilis?
That's the one of the stops that we would love to add, because
that was a Skinner hallmark. I mean, of course, it came from Henry Willis in England, but I'm saying, before that. But I'm saying, that was one of his characteristics. You know, one of his most famous solo releases.
And that's what he was trying to do here is think, do I want to move away from that and have much more of the brighter sounds? But still,
thanks to G. Donald Harrison.
Yeah, the character of all this stuff would absolutely suit us. So we'd love to add a tuba mirabilis or something. And the only other things we have on here is a viol, which is. As a colour stop. Again, it's not enclosed, and there's a prepared for celeste for that. And then the flutes from the great organ, and also the diapason from the great is taken. We use that just for solo stuff and for hymn tunes. It's useful, but it would be very useful if we could take some of these solo stops and put them on there as well. That would just be really cool. A lot of the choir organ here it's got some lovely neoclassical stuff. And then you have the mutations and things.
We're not keeping you from the food or anything, are we? No? Okay. Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't done an album yet.
Yeah. Oh, there are lots of people who have recorded the organ, and it's something that we really need to do more of, because it's such an incredible instrument. The hardest thing, though, and it sounds crazy, but the hardest thing is the traffic outside.
Really?
And the noise there.
I have one or two from here, and don't recall ever hearing much traffic go by. Probably because they were done at night. Maybe.
Yeah. See, and that's the other thing, that you have to do them. The building closes at 7. So you can start recording at 7, but then the clergy live over there, and they have young children, and the nuns live on this side. And then, because it's Manhattan, they're literally on top. So you have to stop at 10, 10:30, 11, which is hard. I mean, people can do it, but it's just difficult. And it's certainly something that we would love to do more of, because it's such a special organ, and you can just play anything on it. You really can.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Is the console movable?
Yeah, the console's movable. Actually, tomorrow we're going to be moving it back with the organ builder. We normally put it in the corner there, so the choir can go up here, because that's where we sing from.
I'm sorry, what are you
Really? For some reason, I thought there was a console downstairs. Maybe it was just my.
There's a whole rebuilt Holcamp console which controls about 3/4 of the organ. We use that for masses and stuff, smaller stuff down there. But this console used to be down there.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then they got some huge crane, I don't know how, and they just put it up here. It would be great again if we could have a duplicate console, because people are looking that way, and you can't move these pews around, because you're stuck.
They just wanted more room up front, or is that What was the reason?
I think they just wanted to have the choir up here.
You can't
rather
see
than
anything
have
up
the
there.
organ.
Well, you'll be able to take pictures. I guess they turn these lights off eventually, right?
Yeah.
It's so dark up there, you can't see anything.
Yeah. Oh no, it's crazy. I wonder what's in these. Oh, they're actually already on. The lighting is really terrible.
Well, thanks a million for the tour.
Thank you for taking it. Oh yeah, I want to get
Yeah,
it.
please go.